What's going on, guys? Andrew Piluk Hockey here, back with another video. And just as I thought, if I could speak English today, I thought I was done making videos tonight, but it looks like Jesse Puljujarvi has some other news for everybody else, and I guess the news is starting to pick up a little bit, and that is that Jesse Puljujarvi and the Edmonton Oilers are still looking to part ways. Well, at least on one side, Jesse Puljujarvi is looking to move on from the Edmonton Oilers. He would like a fresh start somewhere else, and specifically, he said at a charity game in hopefully I'm not pronouncing this incorrectly, but regardless, it's in Finland. He's in Finland right now. He wants a new start with another team. Playing in North America is still his goal. I will stay here until I get a contract, and I will find a place. I will find a place to play somewhere. So it's looking like he's not exactly saying, oh, when I get a contract with the Oilers. He's saying, he'd like a fresh start. He'd like to play somewhere else. And, there's a lot of backlash for this on Twitter. There's some people supporting the fact. I, for one, think that, yeah, Puljujarvi should want to play where he wants to play. And, the thing is he's not an unrestricted free agent. He's still an RFA. A contract still needs to get worked out. It's probably not going to be a significant raise because he hasn't really gotten a chance to really play in the NHL full time, because we know he's been up and down. He's only 21, but he's a right winger with size, 6'4", 201 pounds, and he's shown. You got to remember, he's a former 4th overall draft choice. He's got some promise to him, but it hasn't really shown. So in the 16-17 season with the Oilers, he only played in 28 games played. He only played in 28 games, 8 points. The season after that, the 17-18 season, he played in 65 games where he had 20 points. And then obviously this past season, 46 games played, 9 points. So he hasn't really been in the lineup, a solidified top 6 player. He's been up and down the lineup and out of the lineup in the AHL. And it hasn't worked out. Let's be honest here. It hasn't really worked out. But now that Chiarelli's gone, Hitchcock's out, and they've had a couple different coaches here. It's a whole new staff. We've got Dave Tippett in there as the head coach, and then of course we have Ken Holland as the new GM as well. So that's fresh. The front office, the coach, everything is fresh. There's some new faces on the team. Of course, there's an opportunity now to impress a coach and the management staff in your training camp, and then maybe get a spot in the top 6 if he can really play, because this Oilers team does not have a ton of depth. They need Puljujarvi to take another step and take over that top 6 role, but he hasn't previously, and it's looking like he's willing to just go and play somewhere else. He wants a trade. He wants a fresh start. So Jason Gregor also tweeted that Puljujarvi still feels good. His hips, he's had problems with the hip stuff, and he wants to stay in Finland till he gets traded or gets a contract from the Oilers that would then be traded, because everything that's being said so far is that he just wants to move on from the Oilers. He wants a fresh start somewhere else. So here's the problem for the Oilers. They don't exactly want to move on from him because, and Jason Gregor says it right here, the issue for him is that the Oilers don't want to sell low on him. They're in no rush to trade him because they're trying to convince him right now, hey, we've got a new coach, we've got some new bosses around you, we've got new management, there's some new players, a new opportunity for you. Maybe you can lock in a spot in the top 6 and play with some good forwards. Maybe even finally get a chance to play with McDavid for a long period of time, which I'm not really sure would happen, but you never know. If they catch fire together, who knows? That could be good. So they're trying to convince him, but it's looking like through all this time it's not working. So the Oilers are in a tough spot here. They don't want to trade him. They don't have to, technically. They still own his restricted free agency or his RFA rights. They still own the contract. They still own the player contract. They don't want to sell low on him. Teams are not going to be lining up and giving up a pick or a prospect or a combination of both, and high picks, mind you, because it's reported that the asking price at the NHL draft or around that time was a 2nd round pick. Teams are not going to be doing that for a player that's unproven. Who knows? What if Puljujarvi gets a fresh start somewhere else, and because he's been bounced around and because he hasn't had a chance to really stay in the lineup or hasn't taken the chance to play consistent, maybe he's not going to be a great player in the NHL. Maybe he's going to be a guy that barely plays 3rd-line minutes, or at least produces on the 3rd line, but not to the standard that a 2nd-round pick possibly could bring in the future. Because teams are really trying to hold on to their picks in young players, because that's how the NHL is going now. And while Puljujarvi is still very young, they don't want to give up a future pick that could become somebody better than Puljujarvi. It's a whole big confusing thing. I, for one, would take a shot at Puljujarvi if I was a team that's looking for a young scorer that has potential. But you don't want to give up the farm, and the Oilers want the farm for him because they still see potential. And by the farm, I'm not saying they want everything under the sun. I'm just saying a second-round pick is no cheap asking price. That's quite high for a guy who's unproven currently. I still think Puljujarvi could be a fantastic player, but from what we've seen so far, it's not looking promising that he's just going to be this amazing player. So, and I watch a lot of Oilers games, and don't get me wrong, I'm a Leaf fan, but I'm a fan of the game. I'm a fan of hockey. I want to see the Oilers be a competitive playoff team, but it's not going to happen with this roster. If Puljujarvi can take another step, that's just another piece for the Oilers, but he clearly doesn't want to stay there. So, with all the trouble he's had, bouncing up and down the lineup, not being in the lineup, he wants out. The Oilers don't want to trade him. Teams might not want to pay that much for him, especially in the trade value market. But Puljujarvi might not even get the number in dollars that he wants because teams aren't going to be willing to pay up that much money. It'll have to be a prove yourself 1-year deal or 2-year deal that's going to be insanely cheap. So let me know what you guys think about this. Is Puljujarvi going to get traded soon? Will the Oilers hold on to him? Will there be a resolution with the front office, the coaching staff, and Jesse Puljujarvi? We'll have to see. Let me know down below. If you're new, make sure to subscribe. I'd love to have more hockey conversations with you. Join the squad. Let's get to 7,000 subscribers. I appreciate all of you, and I'll see you in the next video or stream. Peace.